What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to do our raw photo challenge. Darren and I, this guy that stalks me on the internet, he has challenged me to a photo. We're going to use this photo and see what the difference is between our photos. This is going to be a weekly collaboration, so if you guys want to join, check out the Discord and let's get into it. All right, so what's going on, everybody? We're going to start with this photo for our raw photo challenge. So let's just get straight to it. The first thing that I like to do is I scroll all the way down. And I always do enable profile corrections and remove chromatic aberration. All right, let's see. I don't even think there's much chromatic aberration, but even if there is, just do it. And if you don't know what that is, it's just like sometimes when you have high contrast areas, maybe like around here, let's see, you'll get like purple or green lines. Let's see. I'm not seeing any, but you know what I'm talking about. It's those purple green lines that you're looking at like, what the heck is that? Clicking that will help get rid of that. Okay, and I always like to do this auto transform just to straighten things out for me. Like it does a little rotation and a little cropping, which looks good. I don't need to do anything for that. All right, so that's the first two things I always do. And then now I know I want to bring down these highlights, and I'm just like messing with the slider here, you know. Now I don't want too much detail. I want that blown out sunset kind of look. I'm just going to leave it around here and then I'll play with it later. I'll bring up the shadows just a little bit. But I don't want these areas to be risen for shadows. So what I'll probably do is, if you guys don't have the newest Lightroom, please upgrade to it because the subject auto mask is amazing. So I'm going to raise his shadows just a bit here. Let's see. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now, let's see here. I feel like this photo is already pretty contrasty. I don't want to make it too contrasty. But what I do want to do is maybe mess with the sky a little bit. So if I go down to, what am I doing? I want to add a mask and select sky. I'm telling you, these new auto features save you so much time. So I'm going to warm it up a bit. Maybe add some magenta, get those nice colors to come out. And then you can always like play with the sliders and see what looks good, but that looks too like HDR-ish. So I'm going to do just like, mess with the highlights a little bit again. Okay. Now I want an effect of sun coming from over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a radial gradient, a big one. Put it right about here. I'm going to take the clarity all the way down and then add some exposure. You can see you get this glow kind of thing. I'll delete that and you can see the difference. Just gives it a nice soft, I'm going to give it that sunset warmth to it. Oops, I don't think I'm clicked on it. There we go. There we go. That looks nice. Yeah. Oh my goodness. People making noise in the background. Okay. That looks pretty good. I don't know if I want it over here. Let me see what the difference is. I always like deleting and then doing like Control Z and Control Shift Z to see the effect. It looks pretty nice. What I could do, if you don't want it here, what you would do is click on your mask, click on it again, and hit minus, and then just do a brush, right? And I'm going to make sure auto mask is off. And I'm going to take my feather down, not feather, sorry, my flow down to 50, and just brush a little bit out here. There we go. And I can see where it's affecting. It's like away from his hands because his hands don't need to be all glowy. But this part looks nice. Okay. Now I'm going to add another radial gradient on this side. And let's cool it down, see what that looks like. And I don't like it. I will add some more magenta though. Or maybe just cool it just a wee bit. No. Yeah, I'll just keep it with the magenta. Let's see what happens if I soften it. I do like that dreamy vibe that it gives. And again, if you don't want it affecting like here, your this bar here, because you are reducing the clarity, what you could do again is if I click that, select, I would do with a linear gradient, right? And I choose here, so all of this red is going to be deselected from that mask, if that makes sense. So now you can see it's only affecting up here. It's only softening and magentaing, adding magenta to that area. Okay, so it looks pretty good already. Like you see the difference. All right. Now I want to do some stuff with this gentleman. So I'm gonna I love radial gradients. They're so useful. I'm gonna boost his exposure a little bit. There we go. Okay, and I haven't even messed with the color, right? I haven't even messed with the color yet. So you can see the difference. Let me show you. Which one is that? This one. So I'm gonna delete it. And then that just brightens him up and the area around him up. Okay. Now I'm gonna start doing just a little bit of color. I'm gonna pop that vibrance up. Oh yeah. Something I always do is I go down to my blue, my calibration colors, and my blue primary. I always bump it up to around 20. All right. And you can see the difference here. A little bit of a subtle difference. It just makes those colors pop a little bit. And I personally like different color blues, kind of like that Instagram-y. Like I don't go all the way so it changes everything, but I do like a little bit. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, you can see the difference there. Now these have become, my magentas have become a little bit too purpley. So I'm gonna go back up to my hues and mess with that. There we go, move them back. And I'm going to make a little bit more cyan in this photo. So I've changed my blues as well. A little bit more cyan. There we go. And I always like turning them on and off the sliders so you can see the difference. And you probably can't really see the difference. Like I have to zoom in. Right. It's just a subtle touch. It makes your photo different than everyone else's. Okay, it's looking pretty good so far. I mean, look at the difference. What else can I do? Now I'll go back and probably add a little bit of contrast here. Okay. Now I do think this area is a little too dark, so I'm going to add a linear gradient. You guys can see I love masks. Look at this. I'm 5 minutes in and I'm already like 15 masks. Let's see here. I'm going to raise my shadows just a wee bit. Okay. If I really wanted to be picky, I could go through and like clean all this up, the cigarettes and everything. Like it looks pretty nasty. Or what I think I'll just do is, I mean, you might like that. You might like it, you might not. I think I'll just crop it a little bit. Make sure he's centered. Bring this down a little bit too. I don't know if I want that bucket. What is that? Is that plastic? Oh, he's drinking some beer. Okay, nice. Good. I really like that so far. It's got that dreamy vibe coming off over here. I like color. I love color. And then I don't really mess with these too much, like whites and blacks. I go down on my tone curve for my, like popping that stuff up. And then I also pay attention to my histogram over here. I mean, especially like over here, my highlights are already pretty high, but I just play with it. Like sometimes you like that overexposed sky. Yeah, like 6 looks fine right there. I don't think I'll go with my darks because it's already pretty dark here. But you could raise your shadows if you wanted. Let's raise these a little bit and see what it looks like. Give it that kind of matte look. I don't know if I like it though. Let's see here. So then I do like reset channel. And then I can hit Control Z and see the difference. It's very subtle again. I think I'll keep it just to give it a little bit of raised shadows, a little bit of that matte look. You can really see it here. Okay, and I mean, I think I'm pretty much done. I'll probably add a little bit of vignetting here and then bring that midpoint in. Let's see here. I don't know if I like it actually. Yeah, I do. I think it brings a little bit more attention to him. No, I don't like those purples. What did I do? Is it this that I messed with my purples here? Yeah, I don't want a purple sky. I want a little bit more of a natural um, area over here. So I think I'll go back to this mask that I created over here. And let's see here. There it is. That's what I was. Should I make it more blue? I mean, this is the cool thing. You have so much creative freedom. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna make it like this. Like, obviously not, but you could if you wanted to. I don't like green. I don't like those greens. So maybe just, yeah, just a little bit. I think I was at 40 earlier, which is just too much. But I don't think half around that. Yeah, maybe 15, 20-ish. Looks okay. If I warm it up, what happens? Warming it up looks pretty nice as well. Okay. Yeah, I think I like that. I might even add another one here, over here to do some stuff. Let's see. I feel like this area needs some attention. Make it a little bit more cool. That way you have like that, I don't know what you call it, but you have like this warm area over here and a cool area. Get those warms and cools, if that makes sense. It might be a little too blue. Let's see. Now, sometimes this bothers me, like doing, and like I want to reset it and see what it looks like. So I'll like just choose something very, very subtle, like I'll raise the contrast by 1. And then now I can go and, like if I double click on it and it resets, I can see the effect, right, without having to delete it. So I actually like it warmer, but I don't know. That's the problem with like Lightroom and Photoshop is you have an unlimited amount of choices, but I want to keep this recording short and do like a quick 10, 15-minute edit because you could really spend all day on one photo, right? I'm sure we've all been there. But it's good to do it, take a break, come back. So I think that looks okay. I'm just going to delete the whole thing to see what I did there. Control Z, Control Shift Z, undo, redo. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there just to give it a little bit of blue. And I think I'm done. Let's see, I might go into the colors a little bit and like play with the luminance of things. Maybe I want the blues to be more bright. Yeah, it looks okay. My aquas, my yellows. I mean, my yellows are already pretty bright, so let's see here. Oh, wow, that does a lot. Let's see here. Bring down the luminance just a wee bit so I can get some clouds. Yeah. And I encourage you to always just play with these. Like, that's what they're there for. Like, the sliders are so great. You can see the difference in everything. I don't want to oversaturate it, but I do like color. So I never go past 50. Like, if you go past 50, it just gets like, okay, that's too much. So I usually stay around the 10 to 30 range. And then I always double click it and see the effect. I'm looking for just a very subtle. And I don't think like his skin is too orange. I mean, it is a sunset time, so I mean, he's already a pretty dark guy, so pretty tan gentleman there. And let's see, I still have, I don't like, I mean, I like it, but I don't love it, you know? So let's see what I can do. Sorry, I'm gonna mess with the wrong ones. Let's do my hues. Maybe just around there. Oops. Okay. And this is getting I don't want too cyan, but I do like a little bit. Yeah, like right there. It's at -7. Yeah, let's see, it's not much. Okay, and I think I'm gonna say, just for the sake of time, look at the difference before, after, before, after. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys have any questions, any comments, let me know. What do you think about this? And just for the heck of it, let's do something crazy. So I always like to create a virtual copy, a duplicate, right? And then I go into my filters and I think, okay, here's my original camera settings, right? We saw that. And then, like, could a filter have done better? All right. So I really like, I have this extra moody pack. I like going through here. Now this applies everything with my masks, all my masking over here. Let's see here. The fro pack, I use the fro pack quite a lot. Oh, I quite like that one. That looks nice. I mean, I could start with that and then bring the sky back. Um, but let's see what else we got. I like Canadian tuxedo. Nope, not this time. So I'm not seeing any that I really like more than my own. That's kind of nice. These two are nice. Okay, so that's kind of nice. It gives you that like retro, I don't know, retro hipster kind of vibe. Zoolander looks pretty nice. I do like the blues in that one compared to mine. Oh, I wonder if I can do that. Hmm. I do quite like those blues there. They probably went into the shadows here and added some cyan. Yes, they did. Okay, so now we can see the difference there. Oh, that's kind of nice. Oh, but I also like the red. This kind of has like that magenta reddish tint. Ooh, so many choices, right? And yeah, I like that. Yeah. All right, and now before and after. There you go.